Hello everyone, this is Carlos. Welcome to the first session of your dissertation module. In this first session, I will be covering some practicalities about the module. Also, I will share with you some important deadlines that you need to keep in mind from the very beginning. I will explain you how should be the path that you need to follow in order to submit a successful dissertation. Later, I will explain you how it's going to be the support that you will get from your supervisor and myself. Hopefully, by the end of the week, you will be able to provide an interesting topic for your dissertation. Well, let's start our introductory lecture. First of all, I want to share with you the schedule. How's going to be the progress during the next weeks. As you can see, in the first session, we are covering introduction, some practicalities and key deadlines that you need to know. In second week, we will be explaining the research design and research question, how to create an interesting and specific research question. In week number 3, I will explain how to write an introduction. Which are the key points that you need to cover in your introduction? Also, we will start to think about how to perform a literature review. In week number 4, we will consider ethics because you need to submit an ethical approval before submit your dissertation. Later, we will focus on research methods. Week 5 and 6 will be for qualitative research methods, while week 7 and 8 will be for quantitative research methods. In the last week, we will explain how you should write up your research work, and we will be answering any question you have before submitting. Well, regarding the structure of the session, you will have a pre-recorded lecture every week, so you can watch the video on demand. But also, we will be holding a live event every week. This live event will take place through Zoom, and during this synchronous session, we will be doing some activities, sharing some reflections, and I will be answering all your questions. But it's important that you practice and you can prepare, especially to the live events. If you follow the activities, if you watch the lecture, if you read the recommended readings, you will be on the right track to submit a successful dissertation. Well, let's cover now one of the key concepts of this session. What is a dissertation? Obviously, a dissertation is a major project, and this will last for 2 semesters. In this process, you will take responsibility for your learning. It means that it's your own responsibility to provide a detailed investigation into a topic. But you are final year students. It means that you must be ready to do that. You have the intellectual skills, you have the knowledge, so you are more than prepared to submit a successful dissertation. And don't forget that this is a project, and you are project management students. It means that you have the right training to manage the process and deliver a successful dissertation. As I said, your dissertation is a research project. But what is research? Empirical research is an organized, systematic, and logical process of inquiry using empirical information, it means data, to answer questions or test hypotheses. It means that your research contributes to knowledge. It adds something new. It creates something new, something that previously doesn't exist. Research seeks to answer specific questions to solve a particular problem which is present and unsolved in literature. What are the usual requirements for your dissertation? Your dissertation must be between 12,000 and 15,000 words in length. Your work must involve a critical examination of an issue or problem. It means to investigate something in the field of project management, or economics as applied to the construction industry. You can do research in many different topics while you are applying this knowledge into the construction industry. And this is very important. You must comply with the following deadlines. The first one is to submit your selected topic. It must be very soon, as the deadline is on 8th of October, next Thursday. The final submission of a proof proposal must be ready by 4th of November. The formal submission of the ethics form, and this document must be signed by the student and your supervisor, must be ready by 9th December or by 25th of January. The submission of the final document must be ready by 26th of April, and the oral examination will take place between 24th and 26th of May. More details will be provided in due time. The examination board will take place in June. Now, I would like to share with you an indicative schedule in order you can check that you are on the right track during your dissertation road. Your literature review must be ready by January, and you should get your supervisor approval in order to start your data gathering by early February. I strongly recommend you to submit your final draft to your supervisor by the end of March. During your dissertation route, you will have the opportunity to gain new skills. First of all, you will be undertaking a demanding and independent project. So you will be on your own, taking the full responsibility of the process. You will investigate a subject in depth, which is always something very interesting. Through this process, you will stretch your intellectual and technical skills, but you will learn new software, new techniques, new ways of collecting data. At the same time, you will develop your analytical skills, and you will be able to provide important conclusions and even policy recommendation. Because at the end of the day, to write a dissertation is to provide an original contribution to knowledge, which is always something exciting. By writing your dissertation, you will increase your ability to write with clarity and provide a document with a clear logical sequence. You will have the opportunity of learning how to acquire detailed information on a topic, how to carry out interviews, how to gather data from different sources, how to check existing information, how to analyze all these different sources of information. At the end of the process, you will also develop the ability to present and communicate results. Don't forget that you will have to do an oral presentation about your dissertation. Keep in mind that all these skills are essential for you to progress in your future career. So definitely they are going to be very useful in your future.